But let's welcome on board Vinod Aggarwal from Volvo Eicher and talk about how their monthly sales numbers were and what's been their reading. Mr. Aggarwal, great to have you in ET now once again. And from the
Thank
numbers,
you.
one can see that unfortunately there wasn't much of a festive cheer. What's been your reading on how the trend is likely to pan out from here?
Yeah, after an excellent festive season, I think the month of November was a bit of dull. But that's not a concern because we have to see that in the month of November, there were a few holidays and, of course, there were elections. So, therefore, there were a lot of distractions. But as far as the industry is concerned, we are expecting the industry to continue the growth path, and we are expecting December to be much better. Uh, Even though on YTD basis, still the industry is all right because heavy duty trucks are growing by 14% on YTD basis for the industry. Buses are growing very well. Buses are growing by 34% on YTD basis. And of course, exports were better in the month of November, even though YTD exports are still down because of the South Asia problems. But we expect the exports to be better in last quarter and in December. And light and medium duty trucks and light duty trucks, I think that has been stagnant for this full year for first 8 months because last year itself was bumper for the light and medium duty trucks. So therefore, overall, I would say the industry is doing well. Overall, YTD 3.5 ton and above industry that has grown by around 9%. And as against that, YTD we have grown by around 12.5%. We are at around 52,000 sales in the first 8 months. And of course, we are doing relatively better, and our market shares are also better in all the segments.
Dealers as well are indicating that we could see a pickup in CV demand from January on the back of increased freight rates. Can you give us a sense as to how you see the scenario playing out and what you're looking at when it comes to projections for demand?
I think last quarter and the month of December also, we are expecting it to be very good because still, if you look at the overall industry figures, we are still away from the earlier peak sales, especially in the heavy duty trucks. We are still down as compared to the earlier figures of 2018-19. And there is a lot of pent up replacement demand because of better productivity and better efficiency of the new trucks. So therefore, it makes a lot of business case to replace the old trucks because of better infrastructure. The trucks which are maybe 4 years old or 5 years old, they are not able to deliver the efficiencies which are expected from the transporters. Therefore, more and more replacements have to come. So that is one fundamental reason of growth. The second fundamental reason of growth is the infrastructure investments. We see the continued focus from Government of India. And third is economy. We have seen that the GDP outlook is even better for the year. So therefore, there is no reason why the industry should not do well. November month, of course, was a exception because of a few reasons. And we are expecting the industry should come back fully in the last quarter, and December also should be better.
Okay. I'm going to just draw your attention to a very basic point that road quality is getting better. If road quality is getting better, which means that the requirement for high tonnage trucks would increase. So do you see a shift happening there, which could be a decisive trend where the medium tonnage trucks or CVs may actually start seeing a decline, and the high tonnage trucks, which are more efficient and carry more load and now have better roads, they could kick in?
Logically, what you are saying is correct because we already see the migration happening towards higher tonnage trucks. If you look at within heavy duty trucks, the growth in the tractor trailers, that is more than 40%. So tractor trailers are already growing faster than the smaller or rigid trucks or the smaller trucks or medium duty trucks. But at the same time, when the efficiencies are getting better, there is more and more hub and spoke model. It also means that there is a need to replace faster. So therefore, that's what I said earlier. The replacement demand is very strong, and the entire population of old trucks, which are BS3, BS4, they will come for replacement. So that is why you will see strong demand.
We have seen a raw material inflation impact on most of the auto sector per se. Given that things are now easing out, could we be in for a year of price decline or margin expansion?
I think this is a very, you can say, fundamentally, if you look at the CV industry as a whole, CV industry didn't have the pricing power, and the industry has suffered a lot because of the very heavy discounting. And if you go to a little bit of history on inflation, the steel prices, which used to be around 37, 38 rupees per kg in March 20, they went up to almost 70 rupees in 22, and then of course now they are back to 60. But if you look at 60 with compared to 39 or 38, it is still 50% higher than what it used to be. But if you look at the price increases, industry has never been able to pass on this cost increases, because on one side, if suppose some price increase is made, on the other hand, the discounts have been going up even more. Therefore, the industry has been suffering for last few years as far as the pricing is concerned. Therefore, you will see that there will be continued improvement in the transaction prices. Discounts will come down, and the pricing also will go up slowly and steadily. So I don't see a lull in the price increases, even though the inflation as of now is not much. But at the same time, because we have not been able to recover our cost increases in the past, I think the industry will see some better transaction pricing, whether it is through reduced discounts or whether it is through slightly higher prices.
So give us a sense then in terms of the outlook for the next year, keeping in mind the budget, keeping in mind the elections. Do you think that we can see the year 2024 emerging stronger than this year?
Yeah, next year should be even better, because uh, definitely the industry is going to do well, economy is going to do well, and there is a lot of hope that the Indian economy uh, will grow further from $3.7 trillion. It should go up to $5 trillion in next 2 3 years. So based on that, the CV industry is slated for a good growth based on the good potential in the economy.
All right, good to know. And on that positive note, we'll let you go. Thank you so much for taking time out and giving us a viewpoint as to how the industry is shaping up as well as the company.